Hey guys, I just finished my workout and I thought I'd do that video that I promised about the story about the lady with a slow metabolism. So, about, I'm going to say 8 years ago, a lady came in to see me in Santa Monica. One second, let me just turn this down. Hold on. Sorry. And let's call her Kelly. That wasn't her name, but let's call her Kelly, okay? I measured her metabolism and it was about 800 calories, which is really very, very low. She was a lady, I remember she was 5 years younger than me, but probably looked 10 years older than me. And it wasn't how she looked, it was her demeanor. She was dressed older than her years, the way her body moved, she was just older than her years, but not necessarily in the way she looked. And she had a very low energy. Just super, not as in energetic, just a low energy person. Very nice. Trying to lose weight, comes in, and she's got journals of everything she eats, detailed, times, measurements, everything, journals. And so we're chit-chatting, and this is the power of coaching as well. You get to know somebody. So it turned out she used to be a ballet dancer, and her life goal was always to be a professional ballet dancer. And she said she sold her soul to the corporate life, to have a more secure life. And she said it was the biggest regret. And she was working a job that she hated. And just her whole life was just a low energy life. Anyway, so we were talking about exercise and didn't really, gym's nervous about it, didn't want to do it. And I said, well, why not go back to ballet? And she's like, oh, I couldn't possibly. So I had another friend of mine, Haley, real name, and Haley does ballet, and she knew this great place in West LA that she was taking classes, adult ballet classes. So I told Kelly about it. I said, hey, why don't you just go check this studio out? And I give her we talk about slow metabolism, the last video. And anyway, so I tell her about this studio. I said, just check it out, just go. You're not going to be surrounded by a bunch of 5-year-olds in tutus. It's adult. She comes back a month later. She walked through my office door like a rock star. She was like, hey, hi Joanne, how you doing? I'm like, whoa, like a rock star. And she just looked different, she was snazzy, energy bouncing off the walls. I'm like, whoa, okay. I check her metabolic rate, it's 1300. It's gone up 500 calories per day. And I check her measurements and she's lost 2 inches off her waist. And I'm like, what's going on, Love to think it's my meal plan, but there's something else going on. She had gone along, she had plucked the courage up and she'd gone along to this ballet studio. And she got there, first class, no, I'm sorry, it must have been the second class. Because the second class, she turns up there and the teacher doesn't show up. And they come in and they say, we're going to have to cancel the class. I'm sorry, there isn't a teacher to take the class. So some of the other girls point to Kelly and say, oh, she could take the class. She's really good. Kelly nearly died. She just wanted the world swallow her up. But she felt a lot of pressure and like, oh, you're really great, do the class. So she was like, oh. So she taught the class. And she was phenomenal. And they signed her on as a part-time teacher. So now a month later, she's teaching 3 or 4 classes. Her energy is through the roof. I swear she took 20 years off herself. Energy's up, she's happy, she's energetic, she's no longer depressed. And her metabolic rate went up 500 calories and she lost 2 inches off her waist. And I don't think it had anything to do with the meal plan that I gave her, because she was already super regimented. I just put that down to just her finding pure joy in her life. Anyway, I love that story. I love repeating it. I've got another one about low metabolism, but that's my favorite. Anyway, the story's in my book, link in bio. I hope you enjoyed it. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend.